of some of this. What is this? All that is a triple copper solenoid coil that is on the anode side, and it has grown these crazy weird black and green and yellow and brown nanotubes of copper, copper oxide, copper hydroxide, hydrides, and then down to this layer of copper oxide and copper trihydride, I believe. CH3, I think, is the red or the orange color. But anyways, this self-organized layer of nanomaterials, and then an exclusion zone that is about an inch and a half in height here between the bottom layer of this covering nanomaterial and the actual bottom layer of oxidized monoatomic and red hydride copper nanomaterials. On the outside, this is just dried salt from the salt water, but on the inside, these are actual physical tubes of self-organized copper oxide, copper hydroxide, and so forth. Possible tritium, deuterium forming, possible carbon, and then these oxygen bubbles being sucked and magnetically stuck, magnetically placed. That's how they're held. It's magnetism of the oxygen on the anode side of the triple solenoid copper coil, creating that EM field that magnetically holds the oxygen bubbles together there. Here, just shining flashlight through some silver ormus monatomics. Now, this is very interesting and evidence showing the black nano coating that always forms on the coils. And Mehran Kesh of the Kesh Foundation, kfssi.org, was the first to teach me of this nano coating self-process that this wasn't done by my own caustic, this wasn't done by torch or electrolysis. I do get the same results, black nano-coated results, by doing all three of those processes, but this was actually self-forming, and that you have the blue, turquoise, and green oxidized nano layering on the submerged coils, but then the coils that are above in the air, they get this crazy black coating all by their own, self nano coating. All right, giant copper sheet that was nano coated, copper oxides, man. Oh, here we have a nice picture of some pink red state copper there, as well as some clear copper gel on the top there. Lots of transparent ones that can be formed. This showing the bright yellow sulfide state, the alchemists call it. The sulfur state, they say, when... Oh, I know a whole lot about it, Joe, and we will be doing a show specifically on all of this. Exclusion zone. So in the exclusion zone, there's no monoatomics at all, and it's like it gets these weird plasmid clusters that just go back and forth. It's very interesting stuff. We will cover it all in a future show, my friend. I promise you that. All right, here we have some red state as well as the black state copper, some of the self nanocoating black state copper, as well as the different blues, and then the yellow state sheet there. This one that's a piece of gold, or the gold right here, sorry, the anode and silver cathode. And this is monoatomic gold silver combination right here being formed, and it went into all sorts of different plasmid clusters. And the gold bar here, chunk 24 karat gold, that is giving off that orange color onto a lot of that enormous monoatomic material there. Where's this photo going to there? This one here, very fascinating in the background. So it's got some silver and gold anode cathode too, but I dropped a bunch of my blood into it. And this giant like cluster of like blood and then like cellular material grew, and it like kind of took on like a dragon face and head shape. It was very strange. It would circle around, and as long as I had it plugged in with the silver and gold, this thing kept growing. And yeah, literally did Bernie create an actual freaking homunculus out of my blood? I don't know, but you tell me, maybe. Like, what's going on? And like eyes, heads, snouts, the like whisker things of a dragon. I don't know. It's very, maybe just pareidolia, but it kept growing and it floated in the middle, right? Like, very strange. And then like this thing kind of looked like a fish almost. And that was just like silver and gold put together, but it was like black silver that came off. Very strange. Very strange plasmid self-organized things, and with blood and whatever the frick that thing is that grew. Well, we're documenting it all for you today publicly. And it's like, I hesitate sharing some stuff and explaining exactly what things are sometimes, because there's a lot to it. And, well, I gotta publish it first in an article, a scientific paper, and get patents before giving away too much of gold. But here you go again, that self-organized cell structure with the monatomic gold, silver, and some of my blood. Here making some nanotubes. Oh. It kept growing. Kept growing. Oops. Good day, K-Bay. Good to see you. Welcome. Again, this thing just keeps growing. And like those nanotubes eventually like went down and like connected with it. So here you see gold bar again, the silver, and more of this cell structure growing. There was gold bar anode, and it was okay. So the gold was the cathode, and the silver was the anode on that reaction. That was a few years ago, a couple years ago, 3 years ago now that these photos are from. Yeah. Then use the gold as the anode, and it all dissolved, and I still have to ship the half out to the other owner of it, Francois. Now, this one is straight monoatomic gold on gold that I harvested, and there's no, it's in a sealed jar now in this one, and you can see this exclusion zone forming around the top, the clear area, and then the monoatomic white gold ormus plasmid clusters forming, condensing, and settling. And that right there is pure monoatomic gold. White powdered gold. And then this is the jar of the original reaction after I took the gold and silver anodes out. And now you can see that the cell structure starts dying after the electricity is taken out. So the homunculus or whatever frickin' life stuff slowly starts dying once the electricity is taken out. So this was a few days after. Jars are both sealed, and here you can see now it's starting to like turn into something, but also like kind of die, no longer growing. And yeah, it grows as long as the electricity is connected. Right, well, so I'm sorry, I got a lot of Japanese style tattoo artists' artwork where that's exactly what I see, because I'm used to it. Hold on. Let me give you an actual example of what the heck I'm talking about. Yeah, that camera. Let's see. No, not that camera. This camera. This doesn't work. I don't know. It might freeze up because everything has been hacked and compromised by sounds of it and how things work. But there you go. There's the whiskers of the dragon. You know, that's what I saw. I don't know. Alright. Enough of that. We will get back to the Alchemy show. Yes, well, I'm holding this. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Probably a bit weaker, but here we're showing some of the plasmids floating, and that jar is just still connected to itself. I've done several shorts on it, published over the last couple weeks, and since creating it, still charged, still having different layers of self-arranged plasmid ormus stuff in it, the different clusters. And we got the oxidized coils. And I don't know if that's going to work. So, we'll leave it up there. Get back to the pictures. I thank you. Okay, back to seeing if the photos work. if the photo wants to load. Well, there we go. Yeah. Guess it's still alive there. A different one. Like, and then it starts to condense, snow down. And that is the fluffy white monoatomic ormus that you want to have as a final product. And when in that white state, it will usually stay in that white state and not oxidize and degrade and become diatomic and poisonous. Okay, back to this one here. You can see the yellow sulfur state coming off of this piece of zinc, as well as this piece of copper. Both double anodes into this reaction. Here we got pink red copper and normal copper that is oxidizing. And here we just got zinc and zinc forming normal monoatomic white material. And then this purple state was what finally the ormus settled after I harnessed the gold and silver combination that I had a little bit of my blood in with, not the one that grew into the crazy homunculus thing, but just the white ormus, and then it turned purple with a little bit of my blood on that one. But what was strange is that, like, it took the blood, it turned it yellow and into like a small little layer, and then the actual ormus material was white, and then that yellow stuff turned white, and then I put it in the sun, and then it turned purple. It was very, very strange process. It could sound like I'm making that up, but I've repeated the process a few times, and even without any blood or matter, just in the sun, and the white gold seems to be activated by the sun and turn purple, and the white silver seems to be activated by the moon and turn purple. And that I've managed to get a lot of different purple material over the years. Here we got yellow green copper and some red state, black and white states, red pink state, very hot. It will burn literally, but like, it's cold to the touch, but it's has a burning chemical reaction. Very, very wild. It's just copper and aluminum, and it's in the different transmutational states. These are the different states of decay that Isaac Newton talks about: the yellow, the pink, the red, the white, the black, the green, the blue, and that is evidence of it. Okay, this guy's something else. This is a copper anode tube that you saw earlier, and this is what grew out of it. Like, what the heck is this thing? Kind of looks like a giant alien eyeball, and then like this arm thing, and then this white, like, they almost look like coral or tube worms or something, but literally it's just what the copper turns into on the anode side. Like, what the heck? Right? Like, what did it's alive. Like, I don't know. Don't know. But there it is. There it is in its glory. This pink copper. Red state, white state. Activated. Self-arranged, self-grown structures. Very weird stuff. Is it a metamaterial? I suspect so. Is it in a state of transmutation? I also suspect so. The question is this yellow stuff sulfur? Is the red mercury? I suspect more it's probably hydrides. But if the yellow is sulfur, as the alchemists call it, then we got evidence of actual transmutation of elements. And this red state stuff, when dried out, extremely flammable reactive stuff. Here we got some frozen blue oxidized. I believe this was a combination of copper and bismuth monoatomics, and then frozen water on top. Pink state. Here we have some self-organization swirls going on. Oh, more monoatomic gold and silver. Gold anode breaking down into the white monoatomic gold there. Here's a layer of still solid nano gold, and it turns into crystal like sheet layers of nano gold as it dissolves. Here's nano gold silver when I dumped it into this jar to start harvesting it, and it just kept spinning on its own. Self-centered, organized layers, kind of like cosmic galaxy, always spinning in on itself. So self-organizing, self-rotating. Neg entropy, is it? Anyways, I just always get lost in the spiraling galaxies of this material every time. Oh, it doesn't play when you zoom in. Lame. Lame. All right. Oh, here we go. A little bigger. Yes, I stare at this stuff for days. It's just so neat. Okay, what else do we got? More ormus. here we have gold ormus. So this was when nano gold mixed with the white monoatomic gold. And then you can see that there's a layer of the white gold and then the gold going on in there. And then eventually it went more white. Oh no, I harvested it and then kept the process going and then it was all white. There we go. Oh, did I give away a secret there? I might have given away a little secret. Oopsie daisies. That's okay. And here we have the gold growing gold white nanocrystals. That was pretty cool. Some fluffy nano gold crystals. Oh, is it gonna work? So that is nano gold crystal off of 24 karat gold cathode. This one was always very interesting. It was live. First coil I put live in electrolysis. Oh, the nano gold even more, and like the black silver here, the black gold. I think it was both gold. I think that was black nano gold and white nano gold layering. Crazy layering that grew off of it. Nice cloud of ormus right there forming. A whole bunch of hydrogen there. All right. Well, I seem to have lost 2/3 of the viewers. Shout out Tartarian Truth. Good day, Shem, and I will be doing an episode with the good Shem Jacobs, Tartarian Truth, very soon. Hopefully later this week. We'll see if it can be arranged. And yeah, all right. What else? What are we gonna do? Right? Like, could be stem cells. Could be. You never know. You never know. Oh yeah, like lots of those, some reactions don't have any electricity going in at all, and they're just different like self-connected systems I've made, and all sorts of stuff that I have yet to fully publish or explain, because, well, again, you don't know who to trust, how much to put out, and I gotta just get it all worked out with the good Bob Greenier and publish